and welcome back to the Western Wilds. The new grass is fully grown on the farm, and so it's once again time to make some silage. Let's get farming. So we have a fairly simple aim today, and it is very much just get this grass cut, get it rowed, get it collected up, and get it into the silo. At the same time, I do plan to see if we can get some more work done on our fields. The field we really need to get done is this one here, and I want to get some winter wheat into that. We should be able to do that in October, I think. So as long as we turn the sorghum field round fairly quickly, we should be all right. And then we're looking at probably planting sorghum in what was the oat field this year come the new year. So that should all fit together. We may even skip forward a couple of months if we can. Down with our mower here and away. And yeah, we are cutting right on the edge. In fact, where our wheel is placed is a pretty good indicator of where we are cutting the grass. Been around the headlands 3 times, and we're getting a good amount of grass cut off here. Of course, we are going to compare the amount of grass we have here and that we're cutting off here to the amount of grass we get in a couple of months' time. We're going to be doing a November cut as well, because we're expecting grass to have regrown enough. So I'm very hopeful that this is going to be a larger amount now, and will send us into that end of the year with a little bit of extra cash. As somebody pointed out, I am going to need to replace the house on here in the near future, and that is very much on my winter wish list here. I want to get a bakery. We're looking at going for the full bread making setup on here. I'm going to set this tractor going as a hired worker for a little bit, because I think it doesn't matter whether we mulch or whether we put the digestate on that field, so long as it's all done by the time we go to plow it. So what I'm going to do is we're going to actually go and put some, go and get the other tractor, the MB track, and mulch that field. So let's line this up here and set a hired worker going. That should be nice and straight, and hopefully will be wide enough to get everything. If not, I'll clean it up later. And no, I think that might actually work. I'm not going to leave that doing that on its own for very long. I'm just long enough for me to come and grab this and start it going. So we'll go and do this. I think what we'll do is we'll try and set up a play course for this as well. I didn't really like how it was working with the other one on the other field. It was doing a lot of overlap. And in fact, I want to clear the play course that we have on here off. So we'll head into here, and I'm going to select this. We are going to delete the custom field because it no longer fits this field. That has selected everything. Those are too close. It's recognized that as a single field, which is very annoying. So we'll go just like this. And then we will draw a custom field. So we're going to have to draw this around the edges as we did before. But this should be a lot easier to do this time because we have a little bit better defined area for this. Like that. So I'm going to save the custom field. Yes, we'll save it as CP1. Then I want to select that, and I want to just edit it. And we'll go around the edges. We will check where everything is. And like this edge here, we're just going to have to move everything in. So I'm going to select this, move this point to there. And then and we'll move that on to the start point as well. And then I'm going to go over to the advanced, select multiple points, and just move those across. And we'll be able to do the whole field like this. And there we go. We've got CP1 nicely defined around the edges. So I will select this again. We'll create job. We'll open the course generator. 3 headlands. I'm going to take that to 4 headlands, actually. We'll start work on the headlands, and we'll go clockwise. Let's generate that field course. Looking pretty good, to be honest. That should do the trick rather nicely to keep this going and get this field mulched. So now we can get back to this. We'll let that hit the end, and oh, that's worked quite nicely across that field there. Turn this back on, and we'll now do this, trying to keep off the grass to be cut, unlike the hired worker, and get through the rest of this field. Being able to turn these grass fields around in one day is really quite useful to us. Silage is by far the most profitable thing I think we do on here. Into the second field, and it's coming up to 11 a.m. We should get this cut by midday. I think it's a much smaller field than the other one, and should therefore go much faster. I have realized something. I don't think we're going to have any digestate ready for when we're going to need it tomorrow. With the idea that I'm going to be not turning on any of the processing until we do it overnight, so that it makes it that little bit more realistic, and kind of deals with some of the slight overpoweredness of our production bit. I think what we're going to have to do then is possibly put digestate. Well, no, we're just going to end up spending extra cash on getting the on getting our field of wheat planted. We're going to have to put some extra fertilizer in half that field. I'm not going to have the digestate in time, so I'm not going to worry about it as a result. We'll get that plowed and planted, and that will be all good. We might even get this tractor plowing today in that case, just because I kind of need to do that in order to maximize what we're gonna get, and make sure that next month we can actually plant things. I think next month is going to be quite a bit of transferring of silage from our fermenting silo over to our BGA, so that can process overnight in between October and November, and that will then put us in a great position going into November, when we will do another cut of this grass and get that into our fermenting silo, and yeah, go into December with a whole load of money. Should also mean that we are in a great place to skip most of the winter on here. We won't really have anything to do beyond possibly buying the bakery. If we're lucky, we'll be able to do that in November after the sale of this silage from this cut. And then, yeah, over the winter, we'll be able to get all of the bread processed from that. And once all of that's done, come back in sort of maybe March time, so that we get a nice little bit ahead on this series, and see if we can then sell some bread and make some extra cash there. It's going to be a busy couple of months anyway, I slice it. And it's going to be an interesting couple of months as well. Really interested to go with the productions this time over doing animals. I like seeing if we can maximize our money there. Maybe in the new year we might turn our attention to some animals. I like to bake a cake, and the only way I can see us doing that is possibly to buy in some sugar, get a few cows to get some milk and a mini dairy, and see if by the end of next year we can get a cake out of our bakery. But we will have to have a play around and see whether that's even achievable. I've got the headlands done, and we're looking fairly good, but the fuel light is flashing. We are Yeah, we're low on fuel. We're going to have to run back to the yard and fill this up, unfortunately. I was hoping I was going to get to the end of the field and get it done, but it's not to be. I really want the MB track to be a fieldwork tractor, and I think we might have to replace the plow in order to get it to be that. It doesn't work well with the plow we've got at the moment. For some reason, it runs at a ridiculously slow pace, especially compared to our David Brown here. So I think a reversible plow would be a fairly decent piece of kit to get on the farm when we get a little bit more money in. Of course, once we've actually spent the money we need to spend elsewhere, because there's no point in replacing something we've already got. Unless we've already bought all of the other bits we need. We need 50,000 for the bakery, which is quite a tall order, depending on how much we make off this grass. We then need another... Actually, I don't think we... Oh, yeah, we need probably another 20 to 50,000 to replace the house. So that as well, if we're going to get a small cow area and a small chicken area to give us some eggs and some milk, that's going to cost, yeah, so there's quite a bit of expense we have coming on the farm in the next year to keep things expanding. I don't think we're going to be going much beyond the area that we've got here. So, yeah, there's plenty of money that we need to spend on the farm. And a plow is actually fairly low down that list. Final row, and we've been delayed by about 20 minutes or so because we had to go and fill up. Trying to make sure that we are getting everything in our mower for this last row. And yeah, that seems to be going in fairly nicely. We will get the windrower out next on this tractor. Will require a lot less fuel on this tractor because there's no... I don't think there's any PTO or anything on that. Or we've got a little bit to clean up there. But yeah, so it doesn't require a PTO or anything. So as a result, tends to be less power hungry and less fuel hungry with this tractor. Get the last little bit of grass. Get this turned off, fold it up. And yeah, we'll head back to the yard, grab our windrower and start making some rows. I'm going to start off here by rowing up the kink that sort of sticks out. That way we can just sort of keep doing an ever decreasing circle around here. We'll just bring that down, and it's put a little bit on that field, but that's already been mulched, so that's fine. And yeah, look at the speed this goes. Twice the width, twice the speed. Gets this done much, much quicker, and allows us to sort of speed through the rest of this job. We'll do 2 headlands with it, because we should be able to get that done fairly quickly. And then by that point, I'm hoping that the mulcher is going to be finished and we can get our MB track going around here and collecting things up while we get this to work ploughing. Although it being already 1:45, I'm not sure exactly how much ploughing will get done on the farm today. At the end of this row here, having gone around twice, I'm just going to lift up and start doing up and down rows, which then makes sense. And yeah, quite useful having that extra little bit there that we can just start at and then work our way in. And then just get everything sort of running very nicely up and down the field. It works well. Down with that, collect that up, and yeah, does a good width. This does a very good width. This and it doesn't require a huge amount of power to do it. I like this windrower a lot. Our mulcher has just finished up, and less than an hour from us finishing mowing, we've already got this field nicely rode up and ready. So I'm going to take the MB track back to the yard. I'm going to set that up with the forage wagon, so that as soon as we've finished doing this job here, we'll be able to bring the forage wagon out here and start collecting up. And that will mean that we can then get this straight onto the ploughing. I'm expecting to have the windrowing here done by 2 o'clock. It all kind of depends how long I'm faffing around getting rid of this mulcher and getting the forage wagon out there. I do just basically want to finish up with the windrower. Come and dump it back here, put the plow on, get that field plowing, and then not have to worry about that while we immediately get to using the forage wagon to pick everything up. So let's back this up here. Get that all hooked up. Yeah, unfold the forage wagon. And we'll get this out to the field ready, and then as soon as we're ready to do the changeover, we can get the changeover done. So can I get this field rode up in 27 minutes? That is now my challenge. We'll see if it happens. 2 sets of headlands has actually nearly finished this field. We are only 9 minutes to go. We've got this row done, and the next row is almost wide enough just to be left and picked up. I'm not going to leave anything to chance, because I know what will happen is I'll get the forage wagon on it and it'll be too wide for it. So we'll just turn around and get this last row done. But yeah, we're well within time today and nicely on track. Very, very pleased with the way this is going. We're nowhere near as pushed for time as we were last time we did this grass. We needed to get it cut, and then we needed to get it plowed and seeded as well. And it's just not got that issue this time. It's just working so well. I'm hoping this is going to count as mulching this as well. The reason why we were 2% short of the 100% bonus yield bonus on there is because it wasn't mulched, and I don't see how you can mulch grass without cutting it, and of course we are cutting it. So hopefully that 100% yield bonus is going to be there, even if our yield is slightly down because the grass isn't going to grow to full length by November. So I'm going to drop this off. We'll park it over here where we've left it before. And then connect up the plow to get started on that field. Something I haven't done is start the soybean flour processing. It's because I think we needed to just check how much flour we got off the oats. Last couple of times. We should be able to see that now, though. Let's just lift this up and we'll have a quick look. Yeah, we've currently got 11,598 liters of flour. So I'm going to note that down, and I'm going to start up the sorghum flour processing because we've got 13,000 liters of sorghum. So let's activate that. And yeah, 11,600 already. And that means that now we can just get this field plowed. So we're going to do same thing here. Now that we've got a course on here, set up a course play course. I want to do 4 headlands. I want to do center first, sharp in the corners, and all good. So generate me a course. Yeah, we're going up where the other tractor is. So that's pretty good. It means we're going to be able to start everything in roughly the same corner. Although I may have to get the forage wagon moving forward first in order to start this off. Yeah, very much going to need to do that. So come over here. Start this up. Start up the forage wagon and drop it down. And we will see how much we get off this. Already at 2% off very little pickup. That bodes very well. I think that's already better than we were before. First waypoint, line things up. And this is when I find out that David Brown doesn't like courseplay. I think we're going to be okay. Yep. Away it goes. And yeah, create fields definitely not on. Wow, the yield on this grass is so much more than it was before we replanted it. We are already at 95%. And that is a full forage wagon before we've done a full go round the field. So yeah, we have a big increase in the amount of grass we have on here to put into our fermenting silo. That only bodes well for where we're going to be and what we might be able to afford. I think we're going to get more than 4 forage wagons full just off this field alone. I mean, this is our 3rd one and we're only just getting into the rows themselves. We are at 39,000 liters at this point. And yeah, we might even get 5 lots out of here. And now it's about, overall I've worked it out, about 80% conversion rate to electricity. And it all depends on how much the electricity sells for. Unfortunately, there's no reliable price that I can see anywhere in my menu. In here, because we don't have any electricity, it's not listing it. And in here, the electric charge is only the selling charge, not the buying charge. So yeah, it's not giving me any kind of indication of exactly how much we'll make for that. I have a feeling it was around 500. So we need to have about 120,000 liters of silage, I think, in order to make enough money to actually get the bakery. And we might hit 66,000 off this field. If we do hit that off here, then there's a chance we might hit the 120. We might hit 100 certainly. There's a good chance of hitting 100. So I am intrigued to see how much we have off here. I think it might be a case of needing the November cut as well to make the money that we need to get a bakery and make the bread and get all of our flour maximized. I don't really want to sell any flour because we just won't get enough overall from the flour to make a big enough difference. But I think from the silage, if we're lucky, we might be able to raise enough cash. Well, we haven't ended up with a full forage wagon off of this field for the last lot, but it's not far off. It's 90% full. That takes us up to 63,579 liters off that first field. That's a really good amount. That is a cracking starting amount. So I'm just going to top it off with what we've got on here before we go and tip it again. But yeah, we're heading for a very large amount of silage off here, and that will transfer to a really good amount of electricity. As I said, I doubt it's gonna be enough to actually get the bakery, but I live in hope. maybe if we put a little bit of that remaining manure into the BGA as well, then it will be enough just to throw us over the top. 3 full forage wagons off this field will put us at 104,000 liters. I am currently finishing up the second. I think we're gonna pass 100,000 liters today on this field. That is exceptional. That is above what I was hoping for. It would be absolutely brilliant to hit that. And hit it we will on the very last row. We're going to have a little bit left over. I don't think it's going to be a massive amount. If it's 7,000, that's going to put us at 110,000 overall. But I don't think it's going to be. I think we're going to find we're a few thousand short of that. We are over 100,000 liters though. This does represent that, and that is fantastic. I am so pleased with how much grass we've got over here today, and that we're going to convert the silage to sell, or the silage to put into the BGA tomorrow. It's going to be a busy day getting all of that across. But we should be able to do that without too much issue. In fact, I think we might be able to set this to distribute. We can set it to distribute, so that would be great. That would go straight into the BGA then. I don't think there's anywhere else that will distribute to. So I might set that to distribute so that tomorrow we don't have to go back and forth delivering it. We're probably going to do something similar going forward if we get a bakery set up, because that way we can get the flour automatically across to our bakery, which will be great. But yeah, that is fantastic. Just a tiny little slither to go. And look at that. The David Brown has absolutely shot through that field with that plow as well. That is going to be finished ready for next time. So we'll be able to get the seeder going very early. We'll be able to get the roller going very early on there as well. And we'll probably look at trying to get some fertilizer on these fields if we can, because we are going to need to do that, especially if we're going to be a little bit short. I don't mind spending £1,000 or so to get a little bit of fertilizer to spread on these fields, so that November we can get this with the best setup possible. We do need to put some digestate on here as well, so it's yeah, it needs 2 spreads of fertilizer really. Don't know if we can do that before we do the next cut, so that might affect the yield off here too. But there we go, another 2,722 liters off that field. We'll get this tipped as well and get the whole thing turned on, because we need to get this processing overnight, and distributing really I think is the way to go. Let's in fact, no, I'm not going to distribute it this time. You guys let me know what you think, whether we should get it distribute. I will go with really whatever you guys say in the comments going forward. So we'll just store for now. Total amount is 106,722 liters. We will activate the processing of that. So we'll get 95%. So near as damn it, 100,000 liters of silage off of this, which will get into the BGA. That'll be about 80,000 liters of electricity off that. I have no idea if that is going to be enough for us to get the bakery. We will see when it sells. For now though, I'm gonna leave this here, which means that all that remains is for me to say
thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. Special thanks to all my patrons and channel members. Your support is invaluable in making these videos and helping the channel to grow. For more from Virtual Farmer, check out the links below, follow on Twitch to watch live, and for more videos, subscribe and ring that bell. I will see you next time. Goodbye.